Welcome back to Slam Shenanigans, and if this is your first time, welcome. Hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button and like the content and share it with your friends. Today's project is a couple things here. We're going to try and get a slab out of one of these logs for a customer that wants to build a table over a couple of wine barrels, and then also we want to try to get some true 2x8s for a contractor friend of mine who is building a raised planter bed for some clients. So anyways, first log up on the mill here. And what I'm going to try and do with this, as I do with all my videos, is try to show you guys real time how long it takes to do things, you know, whether you're doing this as a business or a hobby. There's always something that goes wrong, which is what I'm doing here. When I fired up the mill, I noticed that the debarker circuit breaker tripped, and bad on Woodmizer for putting it in this location. You have to take off a steel cover to get to this thing, and then it's almost impossible to get to it with your fingers to reset the breaker. So, and it's not uncommon for the debarker to get trip that breaker when it gets too much of a load. So anyways, I'm fits and farting around with that, and then now what I'm trying to do is straighten up the pith, which means the center of the log, so that I can get straight grains in whatever boards I'm cutting out of it. And this one I ended up getting most of, or about half of the order for the planter boxes. Had about 40 lineal feet of about 24 inches wide that I needed to get. So, and guess what? After I did that first cuts to get my cant, I noticed that I wasn't cutting quite as true as I wanted, so I had to change the blade. Get that thing back to there, and then I had to take some slice cuts to make sure it was nice and true, and then I started cutting all my 2x8s. So now I'm basically taking the first offcuts that were just kind of planks, and I'm going to square one edge up, and then I'm going to end up making 2x8s out of that. There's a lot of handling going on and trying to get some simple boards. I always tell people the cutting part of it is super fast. It doesn't take any time at all when the blade's actually cutting. It's all the other work that gets you to that point, getting the logs to your yard, getting them to the mill, the setup, maintaining your mill, measuring twice, 3 times to try and cut once. That's what takes all the time. But anyways, I am finishing up the miscellaneous pieces here. Now I'm stacking them, so I'm going to move them all over to the other areas. Those are the 2x8s there. Those are that's the signboard. I didn't tell you guys about that before. One of these has got to be a 18 by 24 by 3 inch thick board of cedar for a sign that a client wants. It's actually a buddy of mine has referred me to this client, and he's going to take care of it, and I'm just going to provide it to him. So that's what that was for. So now I'm going back over to my log deck, and here's some more of the time, right? Just rearranging your logs, trying to make sure you get your logs that you need. So I had to pick one out of the back, and it was quite heavy. So you can see me there trying to get it to the side. I had to actually get it up on top, move it, and then I repositioned and then pulled it in close, because that's one heavy, heavy log right there. So for this one, I needed 2x8, so had to cut it to length. So that's what you're seeing here. Got the old 462 CR out. So setting the log up, again, measuring the pith, making sure that those grains are going to be nice and straight on the finished boards. Didn't quite like where it was, so I couldn't manipulate up and down for the piths, so I moved it with the excavator to get it on the lifters on the mill, and then I can just hydraulically lift one end to the other. Yep, and so here I'm cutting the third part of this order, which is slabs only. So I cut 3, I believe, and let the client take a peek at those via pictures, and I actually just delivered those today, the one today. And so what I'm going to do is get the skid steer up here to get ready to go on, but I have to do a reveal first, so hold on. All right, this will be the big reveal on the slabs. We have under number 1. Oh, so pretty. Knock on the edges of this one. This one's a little skinnier, but it's still got good benefit. There you are. Minutes ago, I said the third part of an order. This is actually the third order in this session of milling. So what you're looking at right there was the number 1 on the left. It was the widest board, and that was the winner for a lady named Audrey out of Pine Mountain Lake up here. So she picked that one, and I just delivered that puppy today, this evening. So anyways, yeah, these turned out good. Here's the sign board. So this was a very large chunk of perfectly squared off wood. These are the 2x8s that we're going to go for a planter box for a friend contractor of mine, which good thing I called him right after this. I had about half the order done. And she said, oh, well, the lady canceled. She's going with rocks. So he's still going to buy those boards from me. But anyways, here I'm cutting off one end of the 12x18. So I kind of picked a portion of the board that looked good and cut that excess off on the end there. And then I'm going to cut a 24-inch piece from here. So what I did is basically gave the best prime piece to the client that wanted this sign board here. So I actually have those 2 other pieces available for sale if anybody wants them. Perfect sign material, or maybe even a bench. But anyways, and like I usually do, this is a side hustle. This is not my income at the moment, and it's a good thing because I put too much detail into it. I kind of, when I quoted this, I was thinking I'd put about an hour into it, and I ended up with about 2 hours into it. As you can see here, didn't quite like the way the saw cuts were on the end. I didn't know if the client had any materials or equipment to do this, so I planed it and sanded it for them so that they have minimal work to finish their sign. So again, I doubled the time that I had into this, but it all worked out. You know, the client, my buddies already delivered this piece to them, and they liked it tremendously. And so here's our lead into our next video. This is a new grapple from a USA company out of Maine, all USA manufactured, very, very stout. So the next video I'm going to show you guys is me moving some wood around on my property and getting the front of my property cleaned up and utilizing my new layout for the wood yard and the third place to turn around. And this, got to finish the video with Cricket Dog. This was actually her birthday. I took her out for an ice cream. She is 10 years old. She's a rescue, and I love her. So thank you for watching. I hope if you enjoyed this, hit that like and share button, and have a great day.